Hey guys, I wanted to make a guide for those of you that also want to league start with a 3-man group to eventually progress into a Magic Find setup. Because I see a lot of guides out there that are showing you their POEs of the level 95 to 98 characters all geared up. But a lot of times you don't know how to get there. And I wanted to make this quick guide so you actually have something to follow when you start getting into your white maps at level 70 and what a level 90-ish that will start actually properly farming some red maps and stuff would look like. So my group here decided to start with a carry that's going to be using Lightning Arrow and eventually actually have a Magic Find set up once we actually get to 90, right? And an Arrowbot, of course, right? We can't do this without an Arrowbot. And a Mana Guardian that's also going to have some curse support sprinkled in, right? Because unfortunately, only 3 people, we cannot actually have a Mana Guardian and Arrow support, right? Curse support. So, as you can see, we got some really respectable numbers here. Of course, I'm already have the auras and the Mana Guardian already in here. So, this is not like a single character, right? Because as you're gonna be able to see now, this character is practically naked. Like, this is just a white spine bow. There's nothing here. So, everything else, the damage and the resists here is basically only from the tree and from the Guardian and our bot. I just left this with a spine bow because at this early in the game, you're not going to be able to actually have anything that good. You basically just want to have some sockets for your skills and trying to prioritize some life, some basic resists. Like, you're gonna, even with our bot and the Mana Guardian, you're still gonna need like 20 of each resists. So you should try to get some resist, some chaos if you can, some life, and some additional, damage, some elemental damage for your hits. Important thing, try to avoid cold damage, because you're gonna be running a Warlord Mark setup, so you can actually get some of that juicy rage for the for the berserk, right? So try to avoid that. Try to also get some stats so you can actually use the gems. That's important, or else you're gonna need to run some lower level gems, which is not a problem early, right? You got your basic, setup for Link. By the way, we actually have a Turn of the Shot or Lightning Arrow here. I do advise you to go Lightning Arrow, but if you prefer going Turn of the Shot, it will probably be fine-ish. It got a lot of its damage got taken away, but it should still be somewhat fine. But Lightning Arrow is probably gonna be better. You just gotta a setup for Ensnaring Arrow and Power on Crit, right? We got the Warlord Mark set up, so we can actually get that going, and we got some basic auras. Right? Nothing too much. So, we can actually made some changes here to show something off, but we're not gonna save that. We can now go on to the Mana Guardian. Actually, sorry, no. Let's actually show you the level 90 carry, right? First of all, here, as you can see, this is the actual damage you're gonna get. I already have the updated Aura bot and the Mana Guardian here. As you can see, the auras have a lot more effect now. So you're looking way better here. We also have a 6 link setup here, either on your bow or on your armor, whichever you can get. It's probably going to be on the bow, because the armor, you actually want to try to get something with quantity and rarity. The quantity is the most important stat, of course. Try to get some decent rarity if you can. Everything else is just the, quantity and rarity stuff. Only thing here is the rings. You can get some Vetter's Gamble instead if you want. Don't know to what degree they're going to be more expensive. Try to look around, but everything here you can get gradually, besides the amulet with the helmet and the quiver, right? These three things you need to get together, but everything else you can get them, here and there. You don't need to get them all at the same time. Then you just have the Divination Distillate and everything else, nothing new here. The rest of the tree is pretty much, it's quite simple, nothing new. By the way, this node here of hits have a chance to treat enemy monster elemental resistance values as inverted is a bait for you because of your Mana Guardian with the curses and everything. If you actually get this, I'm going to show you. Look at the damage over there. Wait, can we actually see? We can see the damage down there, right? Yeah, we're looking at the damage. Bam. You actually lose damage with it, which is kind of hilarious. But aside from that, this is the setup. Not much difference. We got some extra auras there. We got the Defiance banner on us this time around. Because the aura bot needs a bit more space for other stuff, and this is not as important as some others that we want to have on him. We're gonna be running Grace again because our aura bot does not have space. Alternatively, you could run some heralds there. The damage you gain is not that much. The Grace gives you so much more resist. So much more effective pull. It's just better, in my opinion. Get the same automation set up. Now, we have a 6-link Frenzy set up. If you can get it, if you can't, it's not as important. You're just not going to have the cast and crit Warlord. It is what it is early on. Ideally, you try to get this 6-link later on. Now, for our skills, we either going to keep using Lightning Arrow. I would not recommend you to use another shot again. If you want, it's here, you can do it. But Lightning Arrow, ideally. Elemental Hit, potentially the new one, that it's not yet here in the POE. First, test it out, the alternative quality. The alternative quality one will make it harder for you to actually, because it's gonna have cold. We don't want to have cold for now on the build. For the, for the stun setup, so you can actually stun enemies to get some rage. There's a jewel you can get that prevents you from using cold attacks that you can put here, right? I can actually look that up in a second for you, so go here. Elemental Hit. It's actually, I'm actually not sure what the name is, but you can search it up, you can find it quite easily. I might put it on the video if I have some time to actually look it up. But yeah, you want to ignore the cold damage. Likely it's just gonna keep Lightning Arrow anyway, so no worries there. I don't think there's anything else to talk about here. Everything else quite simple. Just one thing, if you're gonna run this ring, right, you want it to be white socket. If not, just use the Venter's Gamble. But considering some of the strats we're gonna be running, I don't believe the rarity is quite important. But we could be wrong. Either way, it's an easy swap, so don't worry too much about it. Just get one or the other, whichever you can get easier. Now let's actually go and look into our aura bot first. Let's actually go to the... okay, I got a bit lost here. White map and items for the white maps as well. So once you're starting, there's like the tree is not that complicated, right? Just going around, getting a lot of reservation efficiency. Good thing with Sign, you can get all of them by 70. You're gonna get some some spell suppression around here, right? Everything else quite simple. Some suppression over here as well. Life, energy shield. Nothing new. There's also a node here. Don't forget this node. It's quite good. Only thing we need to cover here on the skill side is this setup. You're gonna have one like this on your mana garden as well early on. This pretty much gives you a free Wrath Relic, a free aura, I mean. We're gonna be running in the beginning Wrath in the aura bot and Anger on the Mana Guardian. Eventually gonna have both on the aura bot, but yeah. Just run this. This is pretty much for free. You might need to resummon the Holy Relic for sometimes, because the Guardian's Blessing will eventually kill it, unless they can keep themselves up. You know, I'm not 100% sure if this is something that you're gonna need to keep your eye on, but at the end of the day, it's just one free button in the beginning. Nothing much to worry about. All the purities in the beginning with determination. We actually have something interesting here. Smite with a cast on crit to Weapon of Conviction set up. This is just to get some free damage in the beginning. We'll eventually later on drop this. I actually already have the late game Aura bot build prepared, so we're not gonna run this. But for now, you have the space. Why the fuck not? Right? And we have the Defiance banner here that we're gonna at level 90 transfer towards our Magic Finder core carry, right? So that's it. Nothing new. The items are quite simple. You just get a random Void Sector. Scepter, sorry, not Void. And ideally, you want to buy these 3 uniques, if you can. They should be somewhat cheap in the beginning, especially these 2, right? You only care about the mana reservation and the aura effect. Victor's Influence, to get the 15 increase effect aura 1, you might not be able to get them at level 70. Those might be like 10-15 chaos in the beginning. Should not take too long. The other thing you might want to have both on the aura bot and the Mana Guardian early on is an enduring mana flask. So they have no mana problems, because they can kind of have some mana problems here in the beginning. But besides that, should not have to worry about much. For the level up, oh, also, sorry, let me tell you something. Here for the rest of the stats here, again, you want life, some resist, right? Some chaos resist, if you can get it, and the stat to actually fill out. Here you only need some strength, so it should be easy. Nothing much to worry about. Like, if you can get some extra energy shield, why not? But it's not that important right now. Right? Now, for the level 90, let's actually get everything to level 90 here. 3, everything. Level 90, we're gonna, first of all, get this. This is stupidly good. Level 30 smite skill is insane. So just get that. This one we keep the same. Helmet the same. The body armor, if you do not yet have an 15 increase effect, get it. Try to link it. It's a unique one, so it's somewhat easier to link. The boots, 24 increase reservation. Just get for the jewels, just get whichever one is cheap. The cheapest. Fuck, sorry. Yeah, just get whichever one is the cheapest and go on. The amulet, you're not gonna ever upgrade this. This is gonna be almost to the late game your amulet, so there's that. If not to the late game. For the rings, ideally get some intelligence and energy shield. Try to get the syndicate, yeah, the syndicate mana thing will make your life so much easier. And just some extra energy shield, intelligence, and dexterity to actually cap the amount of points you need. Everything else, there are some flask changes, you can check them out. Nothing too important here. what you can actually see is that, let's actually go to the tree first. We already have CI. This is the energy shield of the Aura bot by himself, by the way. If you actually have the Mana Guardian here, it's going to be much better. Right? So, yeah, it's going to just be a bit better. We just got some... For now, we pretty much just got some extra energy shield around the tree. Nothing more. We took some of the life nodes away because we're CI, we don't care about life. And we just took a lot of energy shield. And we went down here to get this. Right? For the skills, we keep the same thing on the helmet. We now have still have the same wave of conviction set up. Sorry. Still have the same wave of conviction set up. Still have the Holy Relic. By the way, these things are both in your chest because you have Generosity there, level 31, right? So remember to put them there. Everything else doesn't really matter. We have both of this here because the helmet gives you a +2. We don't care too much here. We're not yet getting the 5 additional max res, so we don't care. It's fine, don't worry about it. Don't think there's much else to cover here on the Aurabot. Quite simple. Nothing new, nothing too weird. On the Mana Guardian setup here, let's actually start on the default, right? The level 71. So let's start with the tree. Nothing too, weird. We do get this mana reservation. Eventually we'll not, I don't think we're gonna get anything on the Mana Guardian for reservation wise, but for now we kinda needed to get some extra auras because Aura bot can only do so much. So yeah. We're also gonna be running a link setup on him, so we're pretty much grabbing every link. We're also grabbing curse effect. For now we're grabbing additional curse. Unless the ring that I'm gonna show you on the 90 setup is cheap in the beginning. If not, we're just gonna run that with the rings for the curses, the boots for the curse, and the body armor for the curse, right? You're gonna be running a wand for your connected blast, for your KB, right? You're gonna be needing to run this belt as well. All of this should be like 1k else, like should not be hard. You're gonna be running all the resist flasks and an armor flask here with the mana flask, the enduring one, so you actually don't have any mana problems in the beginning. Skill wise, Connected Bolt, Greater Projectile, X Touch, and MF Lvl. You're gonna be the source of the Sniper's Mark as well. You're gonna have a Spell Slinger setup for the rest of the curses, Punishment, Temporal Chains, and Elemental Weakness. You're gonna have the other relic, so we can actually have Anger. And you're also gonna be holding on to Discipline and Vitality. Because our bot, again, can only do so much. You're gonna have the Soul Link set up, and that's that pretty much. Nothing new. Let's actually look at the level 90 now. So everything 90, yep. So actually, let me tell you something here. The rest of the rare items you're gonna be able to equip. Again, some res, some life, some stats to cover whatever you're missing, and some, extra mana if you want, or Chaos Wrath. There's nothing, too important. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, Healthy Mind. Really huge that you're gonna have here. Right? Really huge. I believe we are running it on the level 71 as well. Oh, we are not. Sorry, my bad then. We are not yet. Yeah. Really huge pickup. Should be cheap. get it. Anyway, level 90. Again, we're gonna get some mana here. Some energy shield mana. If you want to get some intelligence, if you can get some intelligence, it's also good. Doesn't hurt. The helmet, we're gonna be getting the Praetor's Crown. A ton of mana, a ton of energy shield. Screws you a bit with the reservation, but eventually you're not gonna need. You're gonna get the replica comms art for the stupid amount of mana, right? The Asenat's Gentle Touch. Temporal Chains on hit. A lot of life that we don't care about actually. A lot of mana that we do care about. So there's that. We have the Conjurer boots because mana and a bit of spell block. They're just good all around boots. Doesn't matter much. Serious Lvl, right? Don't forget about it. That's just too good. And this is the ring I was telling you about. This ring makes it so you just have to take 2 additional power charges under 3, and you get 5 curses. You don't need to get any curse anywhere else. Any plus curse anywhere else. Just good. Just the basic mana ring, you might actually be better off with a rare one with mana, an energy shield. You know, try to figure out. The belt is the same. We don't change that. We change the mana flask to an evasion flask because we're going to be sharing it, and that's it. The tree, we don't actually take anything here. There's the increased curse effect that you eventually want to take, but we don't have the points right now. We spent a lot of the points on stats, as you can see. And we just went around getting more mana, basically. There's nothing much more difference. We got the part charges. We swapped this part here. Got the part charges, right? You have some quite easy jewels to get, as you can see here. Here, you have this already taken. This one for the Healthy Mind. Like, Healthy Mind has to go there, by the way, 100%. It's just so big, mana-wise. Skill, we dropped the... sorry, the minion, I'm forgetting his name. We dropped them because we don't have space, because we have that Tom's Heart on our chest. We just don't have space. We dropped it. We got some different auras here. We now have Aced here. I believe we gave the Energy Shield one. Sorry, me and names are the worst. We gave the Energy Shield aura to our aura bot. And we are now running Aced for a bit of extra damage and mobility, right? We still have the same setup. Automation is the same. By the way, here I have automation because when I was making the builds, the skill was not here yet. Maybe it already is. But you know, that's why it's there. Automation is just the skill. You can add that automatically. You don't need to run it. You can just click it yourself, but I'm lazy. My group is lazy as well, so we don't want to run that. You know. Only thing here, Spell Slinger setup no longer as Temporal Chains because we moved Temporal Chains. We have them on the gloves right now, so we don't care about this. And we just got some Vitality and some Clarity. The Clarity, if you want, you don't have to have it maxed. You can reduce it, but you still have like 279 mana. You're gonna have an insane amount of mana regen. Like, you have like mana regen whenever you use any sort of skill. There's a chance you regen 10% of your mana. You can only regen 3%, but you know, you get all your mana back, basically. There's also here, when you use a guard skill, you get 10% of your mana back. So you should not ever have any mana problems. Hopefully, you're just not gonna get any mana problems, right? Well, actually, I just noticed something. This is something that I forgot to remove from when I changed from life to CI, right? I forgot to mention. This no longer does anything, so we can drop that and get some, you know, first effect there. Lovely. Yeah. This, by the way, this also does not have any of the auras going on, and still has quite a good effective hit pull. So and no resist as well here, right? Because again, it does not have any of the auras. You can go here on party, copy the URLs for the builds and put them here for the arrow bot, and you can actually see how things are looking. But trust me, this should give you enough. This should give you enough power to actually farm the start of red maps, right? Should not have any problems whatsoever. You're gonna have like a guy. Your carry is gonna have 10 million, above 10 million damage, and you guys are gonna be tanky as fuck. This should be quite easy. After this, I don't know if I'm gonna make an update on the builds, give you some extra stuff for the builds, to actually progress from 90 to 95, and eventually from 2 to 10 divines to 100 divines to 400 divines to mirror and stuff like that. There's probably better guides at that point that you want to follow. We ourselves are likely gonna eventually swap our Mana Guardian to a Bama carry, and our Magic Find carry to a color. We'll see how Bama actually works out. I mean, it's gonna do a ton of damage, don't get me wrong. I'm just worried a bit about the actual clear that Bama can have, but we'll see. For now, this is what we're gonna be running for like at least the first 3 to 7 days, depending. Gonna try to get some currency and maybe then we'll swap. Not sure yet, but yeah. This should be good enough for your beginning. If you're starting, just try to get some leveling. Just try to either level as a group, and you can pretty much follow the tree as it is. If you don't want to level as a group, you can try to get... You're probably going to be leveling with some sort of minion on the aura bot. Mana Guardian can probably also get away with having some sort of minion. There's a lot of minion nodes here in the beginning that you can get and then respec. Actually, no. I mean, you're gonna level with some sort of minion. It's this minion. This was broken as fuck last leg. They nerfed it a bit from 25 to 20 damage there. It's probably still... it's probably still gonna be really good for you to level Mana Guardian. The robots just level with minions after like level 30 or something. It's just minions. Don't worry about it. Yeah, other than that, quite simple. Shouldn't be too hard. We also already have some Atlas setups that we're interested in trying before we get to the end game with that Scarab that makes pretty much everything in your map at least magic. That's gonna be stupidly broken. Who could see it coming, right? But yeah. Other than that, it's quite simple. If you have any questions, if you have some suggestions for the build, please leave them down below in the comments. I'm by no means like a 100% expert. There's a lot of things I'm still learning when building builds, but I got some good experience under my belt. At least I think so. But yeah, just leave your comments down below if you have any suggestions, any doubts. I'll try to answer all of them. All of the ones I actually see before the league start. After the league start, I'm gone. Whew. You're never gonna see me again for like a week. I'm gonna be a gremlin. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry for the long video. I tend to ramble a bit, but I also want to give all my thoughts so you actually understand why things work this way. So yeah. By the way, this is purely for a 3-man setup. This is one of the things we think will work the best for 3-man. Like, for example, you could also try to 3-man with Bama, but then it'd be super squishy, especially your color would be super squishy early on. That's why we decided to start by still having a Mana Guardian and a Curse setup, because that just makes us pretty much unkillable early on. And it will allow us to progress into really hard maps without having to worry too much. But yeah, eventually we're probably still gonna go Bama, sadly. Tornado Shot Rain is over pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and again, leave your doubts and feedback down below. I'll try to read all of them. Again, I'll probably not have a lot to read, so yeah. Just let me know what you think. See ya.